What do you drink?
Andrew?
Yeah, Drew.
Emma, I went to Arlington too.
Of course, yeah. How are you?
Good.
Good, cool.
I'm not single.
Wow.
Don't tell
Yeah.
me I need to relax. I've
Yeah, why?
crossed a lot of different paths. I'm sorry.
Okay, I just felt like it needed to be said. So
Okay.
I have learned a lot from you. My heart will always be open, it's true. But that night was never ending. That night was never ending. That night was never ending.
Are you gonna be here a while?
That night was
yeah, maybe.
never ending.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I think we're live. That's what the live button in the top corner says. Welcome.
We are live.
Welcome to the
We are
virtual
live.
Acquainted party. Yes, we are
Maybe
working
we will.
through the technical difficulties and all that stuff as we can. But we are here. We're so excited that you're joining us. And oh, there's Lua there. We're so excited about this movie coming out here in the US and that it's now out in all of North America. And we can't wait for you to see it if you haven't. We're so grateful that you did if you have. Now, I believe there should be some other people here hanging out with us, and then we can get into some introductions. Is there anybody else ready to hang and party? Is my co-host Nathaniel Zavitz here? Natty? There he is. What is up? Welcome to the party.
How you guys feeling?
Doing well.
Pretty
Doing well.
good.
How you
A lot of
doing?
people here.
There's a lot
Yes.
of people there.
Moving everything.
Yeah, I know. I can't.
Where
see
do we
them.
see them?
Yeah, where do
I'm
we see
just
the people?
going off of
We
what
see
you're
you.
saying.
We see
Just
you.
take my word on it. Like, just take my word on it.
So many people. Oh my God,
Oh,
there
I
are
see
so
them
many
now.
people. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We clicked the right thing. Me and Jonathan are very technologically
Yeah, well, ish.
challenged.
But we
I
can
want to see
be.
them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm just also there's so many chats and things and informations.
Oh,
People-
Giacomo's coming. Don't worry.
People are coming. Don't worry. Anyway, Natty is in Toronto. We're here in Los Angeles, and yeah, we're gonna bring some more people in. And I think
Someone just said I was so slutty in the movie. Appreciate the honesty. We can talk about that.
well, we could definitely discuss all that kind of stuff. Oh wow, somebody's here
Wow,
from New
New
Zealand. Somebody else is
Zealand.
great. Now, one thing I want to say is
Oh.
that there will be a pinned link in the chat here today that you can find all the information about renting and purchasing the movie. Again, the movie is only available in North America as of right now. We're trying to
The
get it
link
everywhere
is-
else in the world. I'm hopefully pointing to where it is, but it is there. So if you go to www.acquaintedfilm.com, that's where you can get all of the information about where you can see this film. This is a very special film to us, and we hope you all enjoy it, or that you did enjoy it. And no matter what, we hope it inspires some debate. Now,
I see a lot of Brazilians, and so I have to say, Oi, Brasil, te amo.
Oi, Brazil.
Let's
So let's bring the rest of our friends. Now,
check.
as we just introduced, we have Natty Zavitz, our amazing writer-director. Welcome, Natty. By my side is the incredible, the amazing Liza de Oliveira, who plays Emma in the film. I'm Jonathan Keltz. I play Alan in the film, and I was one of the producers. And then I think we have, thanks, babe. I think we have some more people joining us. Is Giacomo Giannotti here with us today?
Giacomo.
There he
Hey
is.
guys! Hello. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Great.
Nice Raptors hat.
I don't know how you guys are like seeing people who are joining. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to take
I
your
didn't
word
know
for
either,
it.
but if you go to the comments on the side there, you it's like you see
Okay. Are you
kinda like
on the Facebook thing or on the chat?
On
we're
the
on the
face-
no, we're on the
Oh.
the live stream page.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so there's the private chat and the comments. Anyway, we're gonna probably talk about that 15
You
more
just
times.
if you see some rough comments,
There's
you
a
just
lot of
shout them
people
out to me
saying
and all.
Giacomo in all caps.
People are pretty excited that you're here.
Giacomo! I can read it for you.
Giacomo, I'm here.
Yeah.
Giacomo.
Now, just a question to the audience: do we have anybody who knows Giacomo from Grey's Anatomy? Dr. Andrew DeLuca. Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know your name was Drew on Grey's
Yeah.
Anatomy too. I had a revelation the other day.
Yeah,
I didn't
What
know
did-
that.
What did
that
it
you're
say?
Drew and Drew. You're Drew in both projects.
Yeah.
Drew Scared. Did
Yeah.
you know that already? I didn't know
No,
that.
you just got him set.
Well, I don't really go by Drew on Grey's Anatomy, so
Oh, yeah, they
DeLuca.
say doctor.
they're like,
yeah.
"Hey, Dr. Drew, can you get over here?" No.
Dr.
It's like
Um,
it's still a little
anyway,
different.
okay. So we have some more friends and people here with us.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Is Rachel Scarston in the building, or is she not arrived yet? Yes.
Oh my God, Rachel!
Rachel!
Woo!
Rachel's been working hard up in Vancouver. and, we're so glad
Rachel!
she's here joining us as well. Hello.
Crazy.
Oh, Rachel,
Oh, I think
muted.
you're. We can't hear
Can you
you.
hear me now?
Now
Yeah.
we
There you
can.
go, yeah.
Yes.
I was like sign language.
What's going on?
I'm good. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late.
Oh my
No,
goodness,
we
don't
just
worry. We're just
started.
vamping here in the introductions and taking our sweet time.
Amazing. Yeah, we had a night shoot last night and I'm just like wrecked right now.
Oh my
course.
God.
Yeah.
On a sweater. Look like a normal person.
Yeah,
we
no,
appreciate you
I
being here.
logged in and I was like, damn it. You look
Yeah, right. Liza did both hers and Lua's makeup.
I
Lua
have
looks
nothing
fantastic.
to do today,
Yeah.
so I
What is,
just figured
other
I
than
would.
this? Yeah.
Yes, get ready for this.
Yeah.
I have been known to paint my dog's nails, so
Amazing.
Oh, I should do that. Really? People's
I
nails?
didn't know that was the thing.
Yeah. you
With
can paint
regular
my
nail polish or like a dog?
I'm sure Jazz would love it.
It's just
I
normal
don't
nail
think
polish?
you love it.
Wait, let's not move past that.
Have you
Yeah.
seen? Oh wait, Rachel, you know that Jackman has
Nail
I know
polish.
you like them.
Wait, you're both talking at the same time. So
Sorry.
Dog nail polish?
you can actually buy specialty dog nail polish?
I think it's a question. He's asking you.
Whoa. If that hasn't, I was going to say, if that is a thing, it's for sure a ripoff. But if it hasn't been made, I should make it. It'll be available in 2021.
Yes!
There we go.
We should end this stream now and focus on that.
We could talk about dogs for
We
hours.
could.
So
There's,
maybe
there's a lot of dogs. So
I know.
I'm
Okay.
gonna circle back
That's
to
the more
dogs
important thing.
later on. Let me continue introducing our wonderful friends. Is Raymond Ablack in the house as well?
Hey, hey everyone.
Hey, brother.
Man.
How you doing?
There he is.
Doing well. Good to see
Look
you.
at that beard.
Weird.
Wow.
Yes.
Slow,
Right.
Slowly getting the fam
Okay.
together here.
Yeah, I'm brown. back.
You had a good beard. Yeah, that's good.
One bad week.
Yeah.
You're like, I shaved this morning. I don't know what happened.
5 o'clock shadow.
That
Um,
would take my half Irish ass probably about a good decade to grow.
yeah, you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
That
you
would
got
probably
good
get
coverage
that.
in here. Yeah. You could get a goatee that was going that long, like or a Fu Manchu. I feel like for sure.
Yeah, that would be.
but not that.
No, I don't know. I would, but it would be like 8 different colors and slightly patchy. Yeah,
I know that one.
yeah. Anyway, I think we have another amazing superstar badass here. Is Adelaide Kane in the building?
Hey, Addie.
Addie, how are you?
What's up? I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Welcome to the party.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course, we're
I'm so
so.
excited. Look at everybody.
So now that we have everybody, we sort of briefly started introducing people, but then we got caught up wanting to see our friends. So if you haven't seen the movie,
I know,
Jack
we're all just
plays
like talking.
Drew in the film. Our dear Rachel plays Claire in the film. Raymond plays Alex, and Adelaide plays Sherry. So this is the cast, and this is the crew of our virtual live party here.
all around.
So Susan, Adelaide, and they're not wrong.
You should whisper to us.
Yeah, we should always just whisper.
Just very quiet whisper.
Yeah. Anyway, Yeah. Oh, sorry. Did that take a turn? That took a turn. Well, we're back. Anyway. Yeah. So we've got a lot of fun here planned with everybody. We've got some giveaways, some contest winners, some people who are going to be winning some prizes, some lovely Lulu's Garden, succulent gardens, the Acquainted Garden. There's some cast shout out giveaways, some signed poster giveaways. It is super exciting. And we're also going to talk about this wonderful little film, Acquainted, which we shot in Toronto 3.5 years ago. And we're so excited to finally be
in 3
sharing
weeks.
all of you. Yeah, in 3 weeks. Normally, a film like this probably would have shot for twice that time, maybe, 4 weeks. But shooting it in 3 weeks or 15 days, it was pretty quick, a bit run and gun. And it was a lot of fun. Now, so we've got, I think we've got somebody who wants to slide in and say a quick hello. Is there an Aiden Khan somewhere in the background there?
I was clearly not expecting to be added to this visual.
Hey, brother.
We can slide you out of the AD, but no, you look great, dude. That hair, you and I both have the quarantine hair going.
My fucking pajamas over here, but
Nice.
I am drinking.
Yeah.
So.
I'm in my pajamas too.
Maybe I'll
Yeah,
join.
we can give you some wine as well for sure. So this is obviously, as you can all see, a group of people who thankfully we did know each other before the shooting of this film, and this was an amazing opportunity for people who were friends to go and make a movie together, and that's not something that happens too often, and so it's something that we are just so fortunate that we were able to get to do this together. I feel like let's before we get into it, I think we have somebody who really wanted to be here but wasn't able to. So our dear Muna sent in a little video. Can we roll Muna's video?
Oh no.
Hey guys, my name's Muna Traore. I played Alana in the film Acquainted, and I had such an amazing experience working with the director Natty and all of the other cast and crew. Honestly, it's one of the only projects where I walked away with like a whole crew of friends, like real life friends. And I really had an amazing time being part of this production. I can't tell you how much. I wish I was going to be part of this question and answer period so I could expose some of the salacious things that happen behind the scenes. Just kidding. Nothing salacious happened. I mean, that's salacious. But that's for another day. I hope you guys have a great little conversation, and I hope you enjoy this film as much as I enjoyed making it.
Oh my gosh, her style, like
I know,
Yeah, I know.
flawless.
She's so cool.
Hashtag that's salacious.
She's in the UK right now, so we didn't feel like we should make her, do whatever it is right now. But yeah, no, a little bit of background here on the film. So Natty, you're our writer-director, correct?
Yes.
Ah, good. I remembered.
Yeah, right guy. You got the right guy.
Yeah. A lot of people sort of always ask about the film and sort of where it came from and whatnot, and sort of the basis of the story. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. I was nearing the end of a relationship, and I was trying to make sense of it. And I wrote the movie to try and make sense of it. And it, relationships are difficult, and I think you engage with a lot of different considerations, and you have to consider which to pursue and what not to pursue, and wrote a screenplay, and then tried to make it for no money.
Yeah, but I didn't let that happen.
And then Johnny said, "Give me like a year to make it with a little bit of money," and then Jack and Liza and everyone and everyone came together and we made a movie. And it wasn't easy. I don't want to shrug it away, but it feels like so so many things went right to be able to make the movie, and that it turned out to be a movie that I'm so proud of, and I hope everyone that helped make it is proud of, is such a dream, you know?
Totally. I couldn't tell you, words can't express how proud I am of it. I think sort of rewinding, I was so fortunate you sent me the script and, you were really excited about making this film. And, you knew that I and Giacomo had sort of started a company and that, we were going to maybe have some camera gear or something. And, you really wanted to make it right away. But we felt so strongly that the quality of the writing and the material demanded the respect of being done properly. And, it took a little bit longer to get everything together, but I'm so glad we did. And, as we were saying before, this is an amazing friend group. And, one of the things that brought a lot of us together was a show called Rain. And we have some of the wonderful queens of Rain here with us today.
Queens!
We've got Mary and Elizabeth, Adelaide and Rachel.
Literal queens.
And
literal queens.
Literal queens.
Yeah. And
Figurative.
no, and it was just so wonderful that everybody responded to the project in the way that they did, and that we were all able to make this together. I still am so grateful to everybody coming on board. I mean, and Adelaide not only came on to be Sherry, but she's an executive producer on the project as well. And this is something that we all wanted to make something that we had a bit of control over in terms of the content, and make it in the vein and in the vibe and with the mindset that we wanted to. And, it's such a great team that, we've gotten to work with. And Adelaide is our one non-Canadian as well who is involved in the film, which is great. We had to get an Australian in there.
Yeah, g'day.
Yeah,
You're higher
today.
And Ray, I feel like we've known each other for so long. I can't even remember exactly where and how we all met. But it's like it's amazing. I mean, I feel like that the thing that's great is the Toronto acting scene is a very it's a big community, but it's a small community as well. And, I think that there's a lot of great interconnections and relationships there. It was so great to have you come on and join the project. And it's hilarious. There's a restaurant that sort of started the whole interconnection of this project. We don't need to name that restaurant necessarily, you know what I mean? But a number of us, worked at that restaurant or were the boyfriends at the bar, and that's sort of what brought us all together.
Ray and I actually went to high school together. Like that's how far back that
right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And we shot I guess an adaptation of that scene from Heat together in our Comtech class. I don't know if you remember grade 12.
I think we should dig that up. We should find that and dig that up. It was that would be amazing to watch right now. That would be hilarious to watch right now. But yeah, we went to like an arts high school together in Toronto. I think Ray, actually, you were in vocal and I was in drama, but Ray was working as an actor already, like in high school in Degrassi, and then he was studying vocal at high school. So, all these years later, we, kept in touch here and there. Like Jonathan said, the acting community is pretty small. You run into each other at auditions and you see each other's, work, but when this all came together and like Raymond's name started coming in the mix, I was just like, this is so cool and so crazy that like all these years later we get to like work together and like Jonathan was saying, we get to hire and work with our friends, which is like the greatest privilege to have ever. And I know Jonathan produced another project a little while ago in Toronto and got to work with a bunch of his friends again. So it's like I wish that on everyone, that we all get an opportunity to employ our friends and work with our friends, that ease, that chemistry is there right away. We don't have to work for it, and so I think that was a big thing that was a really positive experience for making of this film, is they all either knew each other well or knew each other a little bit enough to kind of like really jump into working pretty serious stuff right away. So I think Rachel was the only person I didn't, because I didn't work with Rachel on Rain.
No.
You had left Rain already.
But we started making fun of each other aggressively, which we called charring. And
charring.
that got us close pretty quickly. So
It's
so
because
that was
you
good.
know where we well, at least for me, we really bonded was we got into the would you rathers.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and it was like, would you rather have for the rest of your life a shirt that was like too small or pants that were too small? And obviously the answer to that question is a too small shirt, and you chose tiny pants. And then, it just became this joke the whole time, tiny pants.
yeah, no,
Tiny
well,
pants.
and Rachel, you started in this game of Would You Rather, which continued throughout the entire shoot. I mean, it became quite competitive, I'd say, you know, and
It escalated real fast.
it did. And yeah, I don't know if we've got the stories, but we were on the IG quite a bit during production, and the Would You Rathers were great. We might have to play a little Would You Rather later on, but what's that?
There were heated debates over who was right and who was
Yeah,
wrong.
well,
It didn't matter which side you picked. Someone was there to argue with you
Yeah.
by the end of it.
Yeah, but no one chooses tiny pants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. Like tiny pants is
Yeah.
I would argue though that if you have tiny pants,
I still stand by my decision.
you could get a big
today.
shirt and then just like leave your pants open
That's so
and eat too much food and like just hold them closed with like a shoelace.
It's still not comfortable though.
Yeah.
Patty.
Yeah, but
Well,
tiny
like-
shirts cut off the circulation in your armpits, and that's not comfortable either. I'd rather be naked.
Yeah. Understandably.
I love how Jack was like,
Life, you're just
yeah,
running
like,
around your own house.
he's justified in his tiny pants.
I think tiny pants is a no-go.
Yeah. But
If you have stomach issues, tiny pants is not a good and
Tiny pants.
well, no, and in terms of all the introductions, I mean, Rachel and I, we met on a movie back in 2007, and like, you know, we'd hung out a bit then, but then there was a huge gap, and then she joined Rain, and it's like the whole Canadian acting community, I find, is very interconnected, and then, you know, people sort of move to LA, and then once you come to LA, you inevitably get sent back to Canada to work. That's generally how it goes, and back and forth we go. But we've got some people pretty spread apart at the moment. Raise your hand if you're in LA. A few of us are in LA right now. Yeah, and then we've got Natty, you're in Toronto, correct?
Yep.
And then Rachel and Ray, you guys are both in British Columbia right now, right?
Oh, you're in British Columbia too?
What?
Yeah.
Hey.
You guys, you're a fairy.
You guys gotta like socially distance, hang out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Claire and Alex, they never had a scene together. We got to, oh my goodness. Yes.
Acquainted too.
Exactly.
The sequel. Retribution.
Reacquainted, I think, is the line.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
this
it's fun
sequel.
Well, then it would have been like closer, where it's like the spouses, like, you know, also
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, intertwine.
It's gonna end up being the next Swingers movie. That's all.
Yeah.
I think on the other side of the pandemic, I think that's going to be pretty par for the course. So, like, maybe we're ahead of something, you know?
Yeah, potentially.
Maybe.
I mean, you know, I think the movie explores a lot of, you know, some pretty intricate themes here in terms of relationships, in terms of life, in terms of fidelity. And, you know, I think that people probably go into it expecting one thing to happen, and then it sort of is a bit different, like, you know, a bit different. Natty, what were some of the ways you sort of tried to create the relationships between the characters, and what did you want people to take away about the various relationships in the film?
I think the most important thing from a writing and directing standpoint for me was to not judge the choices the characters were making. And I think I think in the performance, we see everyone make the choice.
Lua agrees.
That's right for them, which I think is a really hard choice to make often. The choice that you think is right for you when you know it might hurt someone that you love. But you know, it's a choice a lot of people have to make, and I think because you guys were so generous with your time and were able to rehearse through, you know, spending that time, like I was looking through my phone and I had videos of us running these scenes like a lot more than a tiny little Canadian indie usually get to do, and that was because of the actors' generosity with their time. You know, like we sat in. I remember like sitting in the backyard with Rachel and Giacomo, and we shot it at my house, by the way. That's why I'm saying the backyard. But,
yeah.
And the and like Rachel and I hadn't spent much time together, and here we were rehearsing an impossible like 11-page scene being and I remember watching that rehearsal and going, oh shit, it's gonna work. You know, like
Totally.
to do the stuff, but I knew the performances were all gonna be there in such a honest and vulnerable way that I had faith in shooting the movie.
I think, there are a lot of those sort of longer shots and a lot of scenes that play really from, one shot. And, to the cast, I'd ask, what was it like working in those circumstances, because like, you, Liza, you had like a whole bunch of like, one-er shots. I mean, and there's the scene in the backyard like you're talking about. So starting with you, what was it like sort of working with those long continuous scenes, in rhythm like that?
I think it was fun. I mean, like we all knew each other and we got to rehearse quite a bit. So it was a fun challenge. It was almost like a play. You get to live out, the emotion of that scene versus doing small fragments of it. Of course, in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, I shouldn't mess up or else we have to start all over again. There's always that. But it was a really awesome experience and getting to do that with friends that we knew and felt completely comfortable with. So there was a lot of room there to play with each other and explore. It was really nice.
Nice. Yeah, there's the long shots through Trinity Bellwoods, and then there's that backyard scene that you were talking about, Natty, with Claire and Drew, Giacomo and Rachel, that was again, like, we're just sitting there, and I feel like on set, there's always such quick little segments and resets and shots, and, how nice it is just to sort of both, as an audience be forced to sit with it and as actors getting to sit with it. We have some clips here with us. I think we got a clip of somebody who likes to dance. Is there a dancing clip?
Oh God.
Drew has this great seed pouch dance.
It's been a long time, so
Seed pouch dance?
it's I don't really remember it, so
I think he remembers it.
dude, I think you gotta just do it. I think you gotta do it.
Show us.
All right, okay, here it is. Seed pouch dance, ready? Here we go. Hey, oh, hey, hey, hey. Oh, dude.
I think we all got to do the sea pouch dance. You know what I
To
mean?
this day, I'm still fighting to understand the seed pouch dance. Like how that became a dance. Like to this day, I love the mystery of it.
You're the one who made it a dance. That was all
Well,
she put the challenge.
It was on
forward.
the page. It was on the page, and then we had to I'm gonna have to do that thing that's written. Like, how's that gonna work? No, it was fun. Also, shout out to Aiden, who has like a small but super vital, and like every time I watch the movie, I'm like, oh my God, I live for the little moments that he's on screen and
Yeah, Aiden Shipley, who plays Jesse there in the beginning, opening at the bar. He's fantastic. Another great both actor and also writer and director in Toronto and in Canada. What's that?
It's his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Aiden!
Happy birthday, Aiden!
Let's get him on the party. Not this Aiden. No, Daddy. We didn't need to boot him, but no. So there was two Aidens involved in the project. There was Aiden Shipley, who is the actor playing Jesse that we were talking about, and then there's Aiden Khan, who we briefly saw again, who was one of the producers on the project with us and one of the people behind the scenes working and grinding with Giacomo, Adelaide, and myself. Yeah.
That was our first day of shooting, which is pretty crazy. That was our
right.
The most ambitious day we had in terms of setups. Like, longer. There were days that had more pages and shit, but like that was our first day. And call was at 4 at this club on Queen that like had just closed. And
Apartment 200 in Toronto.
Yeah.
No, so the entire club sequence, that was all shot in one day. All of the scenes that take place in Trinity Bellwoods Park, which is a famous and wonderful park in Toronto, all of that was in one day. So, we started with the scene with Raymond and Liza, where there's the ring. Then we moved into the walk and talk during the day with Giacomo and Liza. And then, it was after all of that I feel like I'm even missing another scene. And then there was the nighttime walk and talk as well.
No push with Ray and Liza.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was the first one of the day. No. Yeah.
I don't know. It's all a blur of
Yeah, that would be crazy. No, totally. And that's the thing. And, when you're working on a film this size, you're really trying to maximize the time that you have as much as possible. One more reminder, if you joined us late or if you're just joining us now, if you have not seen the film, there is a pinned link to acquaintedfilm.com where you can find all of the information, all of it, where you can see the trailer. You can, find all the places you can rent and buy it. You can leave reviews for the film. There's a quick link there to review it on IMDb. But also, if you have the time and if you did feel strongly about the film, reviewing it on iTunes or on any of the platforms that you watch it on, that helps us so much. I'm sure you can gather from what we're talking about, the cost of this film is definitely a lot less than the value of the effort that was put in. And we need your help to try and get as many people to see this as possible. So reviews, ratings, telling people about it, watching it, all those different things help us so much. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching it, and tell everybody to go see it.
Truly.
Now, I feel like this might be a good moment to announce some of the winners, in fact, the winners of our Lula's Garden giveaway. Now, before we announce those winners, thank you so much to Lavisa Staffland at Lula's Garden for partnering with us and helping make this happen. We can't tell you how much we appreciate you supporting the film and helping us get the word out there. So let's announce some winners. The winners of the Lula's Garden giveaway are...
We are very excited to share our winners of the Come Fall in Love giveaway in partnership with Lula's Garden. Lula's Garden is a succulent gifting company where each garden is pre-potted in an eco-friendly gift box. And we have 4 lucky winners who will receive their own garden as well as send one to a loved one of their choice. The winners will also receive signed postcards from the cast of Acquainted. The winners are Marissa Klein, Jocelyn Nova, Ada Leah, and Kristen Crum. Congratulations, everyone. The Acquainted Garden is still available for purchase at Lula's Garden's website, and don't forget to watch Acquainted by clicking the link in the pinned comment or visiting acquaintedfilm.com.
Hey.
Congrats, you guys.
Thank you for entering. So you are going to be winning an Acquainted Garden for yourself and a signed postcard from the cast yourself, and you're going to get to send one to the person of your choice as well. So thank you so much for entering. Thank you so much for supporting the film, and we hope you enjoy your winnings. So I think we have another clip. I think we have a clip from the baseball scene.
Hey! Emma, this is my girlfriend Claire. Claire, this is Emma, high school friend of mine.
Oh, fraternizing with the enemy. Hey, it's really nice to meet you. You too. So? What have you been up to?
Oh, we just moved into a new place, so just sorting that out, gardens and couches and all that.
Ugh. Yeah, moving is really stressful.
How have you been?
I just got out of a big relationship, so I guess I'm sorting that out. I'm sorry to hear that.
Was it for the best?
Yeah. Well, that's good, right? Yeah, I hope so.
Well, good to see you.
Yeah, how's the game? It's really nice to meet you. I work at a flower shop. So if you need any advice with the garden, just let me know.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Woo! Can
It's-
feel that tension from
Oh,
here.
true. It gets me every time. I'm just like,
Yeah. So
A couple of moments where I'm watching the movie, looking at Drew, like there's that scene, and there's the one before where he's in the car with Emma too, where I'm just like, boy, you in trouble, man. You are in trouble right now.
just that uncomfortable feeling is so true to life, though.
Yeah.
Like, I've
What
felt
they're
that.
risking.
I've felt that before, where it's like, awkward. That energy.
And Rachel played that so genuinely too. Like it yeah.
Rachel was nice. She was like so nice. That's what I love about that scene.
And
because she didn't think that she had anything.
Of course.
You know,
No, I know, but
reason not
that's
to be
why
nice.
it's so nice.
No, totally.
Yeah, and
Leslie killed it. Like, just that.
Oh yeah, no, and it's like, and
that
you
is
know,
you kind of energy. Killed it.
yeah, and also the little subtle, like, you know, whether it's conscious or subconscious, the way, you know, you grabbing on his back, it's like, you know, it's like, oh, but this my man though, you know, but yeah, no, I think I love the performances in the film. I think you all played this from such a real and grounded and honest place. And, you know, Natty, one of the things you talk about a lot is, you know, the idea there being no villains in this piece. And I think that's something that we all really sort of, you know, latched onto, is that, you know, we wanted this to be, and you wanted this to be something that was about honest, about real, about an exploration into what it means to be, you know, these people in that scene on that baseball diamond. You know, what is it like to sort of have your heart torn between these two people, you know, and to sort of, one person's in the dark, the other is aware, and like, you know, just that push and that pull and that conflict. So we have some questions from our fans and our audience here. Thank you so much for joining us. Jordan H has asked, hi Jordan H, what were some of the hardest parts of shooting during such a tight schedule? So I think, you know, that the bar thing, you know, like we were talking about, that was one, you know, and, you know, Trinity Bellwoods, I feel like was another one, you know, just in terms of so much of that. And, you know, I think that, you know, Natty, I'd love to hear, you know, because I think there was two things. There was a conscious intent in these long shots that we were talking about. And obviously it was also about, you know, the time that we had to shoot, and, you know, the more shots you have, the more coverage, the more time that takes. You know, what were some of the things that you and our amazing cinematographer Ian McMillan talking about and thinking about in terms of, like, you know, deciding the lengths of these and the movements of these shots?
Yeah, I think that was all born out of definitely a deficit of time, but also when you're in the midst of these sort of hard moments, a cut can be a relief, you know, and like having to stay in these moments through like it being uncomfortable and there being silence, and playing those moments as long as uncomfortable as they are in real life. When you have those discussions, you don't get to cut, you know, and it like those. Honestly, most actors can't hack going through a 7, 8, 9, 10 page scene and having it, you know, like that's difficult.
Totally. Some of my favorite scenes, you know, some of my favorite shots and scenes are the ones that are long ones. You know, the one of Raymond and Liza in the park. You know, it's just you don't realize that's the same shot until the end of the scene. You know, it starts so wide and you feel the park and all the movement, and then it ends on such a tight two. You know, and I think something, you know, we talked about a lot, you know, in the planning and the strategizing and the energy, even just on a script level, is so much of this film is about what's happening between these people. It's about the relationships. It's about the energy in between. And, you know, you want to feel both the people on the screen to feel that, you know what I mean? So it's not just someone's shoulder and you're flipping back coverage. You're feeling both the performers, you know, at the same time.
Yeah. Definitely I'd kind of forgotten until Ian, the cinematographer, reminded me, but like that everything that got shot in Emma and Alex's loft, like, was done with no power source in the house.
Oh yeah,
So we had 2 days there, I think.
We
rehearsed the like big scene between Liza and Ray, and just a little aside there. After that first rehearsal, the whole set stopped and didn't do anything, and it was because our first AD Paco was crying a little, like he'd forgotten like what was going on and was like really moved, and he like came back to life real quick, but he was so moved by the scene that he stopped the like.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
crazy. Anyway, so we lit it, plugged in a couple lights, and blew everything. And so
it looks so beautiful, but you didn't know
there was lights literally set up outside of the building, and through a series of reflectors, they were lighting the inside of
the
the
power
apartment.
went out, right?
Yes, because it was an old building, and we like blew a fuse, and that was that. But you know, on a movie on our size, it's not like, oh, okay, well, somebody will come fix it. We'll come back tomorrow. It's like, you keep shooting. You know, we can't even let the person come and fix it until we're done and out of there. You know,
so we like
totally. And I think, you know, and again, like, you know, with the scene that, you know, that's in the backyard, you know, towards the ending, you know, again, like, you know, that was something where with Rachel and Giacomo, where there's just, you know, that's such a long scene, you know, and it's not even that there's a much, you know, camera movement, but you want to have the audience in that moment, you know. And Rachel, oh my goodness, you're so fantastic in that scene. It's just, you know, I think that's the moment where we finally we truly meet Claire there, you know.
I was Team Claire the entire time I watched the movie. I was like, ooh, like Emma. But that's just I think the whole thing about this movie that's so great is whatever your experience with relationships are, you project onto what you see. And so I feel like that's why I was more Team Claire. But yeah.
I felt like we had a moment where we just really fangirled on each other because we didn't really work together.
Yeah.
Outside of baseball,
other than the baseball. And so it wasn't until I saw, I think it was one of the first or second cuts that you sent me. And I was just blown away by what you did. And I remember either I reached out to Johnny or I said it to, I think it was Johnny. And then he was like, oh, she feels the same way about you. And I was like, yeah. But one of the things I will say I really appreciated about this experience, and it's, you know, kudos to you, Natty, was you really allowed there to be air in every scene. You uplifted the moments in between the words that were said, which I think nowadays is quite rare. And yeah, it was just sort of one of my favorite parts of it, but definitely from an acting perspective.
Totally.
Unique experience.
Well, I think that's something that I feel, you know, a lot of us, we work in TV, you know what I mean? And it's like when you're working in TV, there isn't that time, you know? It's just like, it's going.
No, they're like, that was great. Can you do it triple time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, when I take a beat, I meant like a millisecond.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was fun, you know, and Addie and I, we got to sort of play the voices of reason a bit, you know, here in the film.
Nice.
And, you know, and be the friends to our friends, you know, that was great. And, you know, I love your scenes in this. And again, you know, so excited that you were able to be there. The scene at the bar is one of my faves. I love that scene.
So Australian, I love it.
Girls. Yeah.
So Australian, yeah. Had to really lean into it.
I feel like you probably don't very often get to work in your natural accent, right?
Never.
Yeah,
Never. I like my first acting job, and I sound really Australian today because I've been talking to my family a lot the last couple of days. But yeah, it's only the first sort of proper acting job I did on Neighbours that I got to like use my I mean, I didn't know any other accents at that point at 16, and now I never get a look in. Nobody cares. It's British or American. And I'm like, yeah, right.
we were so excited at it, and it obviously brings such a uniquely you flavor. And also, like, I think that our experiences of our generation, we come from such diverse cities, and like, Toronto, LA, New York, all these cities are places where, like, people are coming from all over the place, and it's we don't need to explain why you have that accent. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like the audience just signs on for it.
Well, Toronto is such a diverse city as well. It makes sense that there would be all sorts.
Totally. We got some more audience questions here. Mariam S., I hope I'm saying your name correct. Thank you for your question. What's special about the story this movie has? So, like, what's special in terms of, what sort of, connects you to your characters? It actually sort of, connects to Caitlin S.'s question in terms of, did any of you feel personally connected to your characters from past experiences? And I think that's, those are sort of combined in terms of the connection that we had to it and what we feel about it and all of that. So does anyone want to take that away? I mean, again, and it's not about, it's just sort of in terms of not just your own experiences, but, friends or people that you've been through, you know what I mean? I think that we've all sort of been these characters in different moments in our lives, or been the friend to these characters, and I think that there's something very relatable about them.
I mean, I think a better question is, like, does anyone here not relate to any of the characters? Because
Totally.
I read the script and I was like, I've been
On some level, yeah. And I think that's kind of, to give credit where it's due, I think that's sort of the nature of Natty's writing, because I saw Natty's movie Edging, which when I heard he was writing another movie, I was like, hello. Hello. I mean, Natty, you're just like, you write these characters that are just like painfully relatable. Like, I've seen people who have been going through similar things. Like, you really do see and write right to the heart of, like, the painful reality of how complex people in relationships are, and how there really isn't. I find, particularly in Acquainted, I don't think there is a right or a wrong or a black or a white. It's just, young adults. They're in their mid to late 20s, but as someone who only just turned 30, I'm still a child. Like, as young adults, it's so complicated and so confusing, and when it's difficult to be in any kind of relationship ever, or to be friends with someone going through relationship problems. Like, it is always a complex, sort of like minefield that you're navigating at all times. And sometimes it gets easier, and sometimes it's not navigable anymore. And I feel like you see to the heart of that, and really you hit right to the bone every time. And whether you've been through a similar experience or not, you're really good at it. You're really good, mate. You're really good.
Thank you.
Really good.
I think that's all in the performances that you guys gave. I think that, like, having actors that are willing to expose these vulnerabilities and, like, delve into the mistakes that they may have made, or the mistakes that they might have wanted to make, or, like, reframing things that someone told them was a mistake, I think I think that's really rare. And it's the thing I'm proudest of when I watch the movie, is all of your performances,
Well, thanks, man. I really see both sides of it. I mean, the performances are truly incredible, from all of you guys, and then additionally, like, I think as actors, it all starts with the writing. You know what I mean? It all starts right there. It's like, I literally, when I first read the script, I hit you up. I was like, what are you doing? Like, no, like right now. Like, we need to talk about this now. Like, this, like, this isn't common. This isn't something that happens all the time. Like, this is authentic. This feels real. Like, you have such a defined voice, and I think that was so inspiring to us, and so welcoming, and such a great opportunity to get to collaborate with,
Johnny was so enthusiastic about the screenplay that he let me move in with him after I broke up with my ex, like, and just went on a vicious bender. And he was like, "Are you okay? Do you want to talk about the movie and I was like, I gotta go to work. Like,
well, totally. I mean, I think I think it's important to note, this movie is a work of fiction that's based in real circumstances, and you and I met because at the time, Liza and your ex, who is part of the inspiration of Claire, were working at a restaurant together, and so
she was my manager.
She was your manager, and Ray
worked there too.
I got the job because you got me that job, and that was the first of 7 restaurant jobs that I've been fired from.
Oh my gosh! Do you remember when you broke the tray of glass?
Did I do that on accident or on purpose? I can't remember.
No, hopefully on
purpose. Also,
oh man,
our makeup artist and editor.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God, this needs to be talked about.
Hired me on the restaurant job, so it's very. And Natty used to go to the restaurant and sit at the bar. Right, and that's how we all met each other.
Exactly.
You were right. Oh wow.
Natty and I were the boyfriends at the bar.
Stephanie Hooker also worked at Joe.
Oh my God! What? I didn't realize she did as well. Yeah. Well, and Kat Weber.
The name of the bar has been said.
Yeah, it's
okay. We couldn't hear you very well. I think everybody missed it.
Yeah.
Well, but that was the thing, and when you sent me the script, again, it's based in truth, but is a fictitious story and fictitious events, but you sent me the script, and you and your ex were still together, and Claire works at a restaurant, and Drew is a writer, and they own a house together, and so I was like, we need to talk about this movie, but also, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? And that house, I mean, I think that house plays a character, in the film, and we shot at the house that Natty, and his ex bought, and Natty lives in, and that was Drew's house. And Giacomo, while playing Drew, was staying in the basement apartment of that house. It's like
while another producer stayed upstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I actually have a question. Remember how you painted your dining room? Kind of a cool color, which was all part of sort of the look of the set and whatnot and the tone, but is it still that color? I was thinking about that the other day. I don't know why.
No. Yellow now. Like it's very
yellow?
Yeah. I knocked down all the walls. After this movie, I was like, I think we've burned the set. Like we need to
Yeah.
do.
And now it's a new location, so we're good.
Exactly. So for the trilogy.
We've got one last question from the audience before we get into some giveaways and stuff. So this one I want to sort of have everybody answer individually. And this one's from Miriam P. What was the most emotional scene? And I think that let's give ourselves the opportunity to say it both from a filming perspective or from a viewing perspective. I'll start first. I think, for me, it's flip-flopped a couple of times. It's the 2 breakup scenes. Well, not breakup, but it's like it's the Ray and Alex and Emma breakup scene, and then also the backyard scene. Those are sort of at different times. I feel like alternated for me as the most emotionally effective. For me.
Yeah, I think mine was at the end with Drew when they say "I loved you" to each other. Because I think when she breaks up with Alex, it's like that's super emotional as well, but it's a decision she's made and that she's sticking to. And then at the end there, it was just like, I don't know, she's just off to be her own thing.
Totally.
By men's.
Making peace with sort of like a part of your life.
Yeah. So.
Addie, do you want to go next? I know you got to head out at a certain point.
I mean, Sherry didn't really have that much in the way of emotional scenes. She was just kicking. She was kicking it. She was having a good time. She was doling out advice like it was her job, and also doling out attitude wherever the occasion presented.
Both valid.
Sassy Addie.
Yeah. So too much of a stretch from who I am as a person.
I have a take as an audience member, like this was kind of meta. and I've got to like come up with it as I'm saying it. But as an audience member inside of the medium, right? So we were the day we were shooting, Rachel and Giacomo having the fight about the table being moved into the wrong spot, or he just flipped out for seemingly no reason about the table being moved, or the couch or something was being moved, the checkers table on top of it. And, you know, wardrobe and a bunch of departments were just kind of shoved upstairs and be quiet, we're shooting. And I must have had to shoot something else that day. So I'm just waiting. And Rachel came in and she wasn't unfriendly. She was just like very serious about her work. And I came from a show where it was children playing and having the time of our life. So like my experience in acting really was having a great time. And I saw someone come in like serious about the work, and just listening to that breakdown that she has when he storms off and she like is confused about like how the hell did we end up in this spot? Like that to me
happened. Yeah.
It was an emotional thing. Obviously the scene is emotional and it's beautiful, but it was an emotional thing for me, like foundationally, I think, as an actor, without fawning too hard over you, Rachel. For me to be like, oh, this is important and it deserves attention and some dedication and stuff. And like, yeah, and I didn't have the visual side of it because we're just upstairs being quiet while you're rolling.
Yeah.
And you're just listening so intently to like every breath you're taking and like what you're doing to rev up before the take goes again, and how it's affecting you after. They've called cut and you're still like going through it, and it's like, oh, this isn't just a lot of fun. I mean, I think probably while you're in something like that is fun too.
Yeah.
In a sadistic, masochistic way, but like
actors,
that was really foundational for me.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks. Now we definitely have to hang out in Vancouver.
For sure.
Before we move on, Addie, I know that you gotta depart right at 7. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you. Thank you for being.
No, thank you for having me. I'm sorry I can't stay longer. I love you guys.
Oh my God.
Everybody who's in the chat, buy and download Acquainted. It'll rip your heart out, but in like the best way.
In the best way. Yeah, you'll laugh, you'll cry. Yeah, you'll call some friends.
That's very true.
Love you, Addie.
Bye, Addie.
Rachel, Giacomo, do you want to take this question next?
Yeah, the most heartbreaking scene for me to watch, and honestly, I was really blown away by it, was the Alex and Emma breakup. And I know, Liza, you had talked about having 2 different versions of it, but the one that was used, I just thought was so beautifully done, so nuanced in the way that you both did it. I think that was probably one of my favorite scenes of the movie. I also really liked the one also with the 2 of you when you're outside discussing about whether or not you got the grant to go study. I really loved that scene as well. And you come out in your overalls. That's really probably one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah.
For the same reason, but also just the way that it was shot, I just thought it was really beautiful. And definitely the most emotional scene was Giacomo R scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But the thing that was the most difficult about that scene for me, and I think it harkens back to Ray, what you were saying, was there was a different type of pressure doing this film because I was doing it for people that I actually, I loved, that were my friends, that I wanted to do them proud. And I was really nervous for that last scene with you, Giacomo, because I felt like it was really, really important. And I just remember when it was done feeling quite proud of it. And so thank you, I guess, both of you, Natty and Giacomo, for giving me that experience.
You killed it. That scene was amazing.
Oh, heart-wrenching.
I remember seeing Natty's face and being like, Done.
Now. And that, to sort of affect, like, there was a moment where it was like, we were resetting for that scene, and like the wine reset.
Oh my God.
And properly,
I
and
heard
the
about
wine got all over your shirt, and it murdered the shirt, and like this is a shirt that Rachel, it was her personal shirt that she brought. It's not like we had.
It was like my favorite shirt at the time. I was like, no.
So even with our tight schedule, there was even less time to film that, and even still, like there was even much debate because it's that two shot the whole time. There was two takes that we were sort of constantly back and forth about for different reasons, and and then it was just like that was the one,
That was the hardest choice in the movie.
Yeah,
I completely agree. As a producer as well, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Watching, there was two takes, and I remember watching them both back, and we're like, Rachel's so brilliant in both. They're just completely different roller coasters of emotion. They're just different, and not one's better, or And it was like, I remember like watching both of those takes over and over again with you and with some of the other producers, and those were like, I really don't. It's just like a different story. It's not bad or good it was just like so hard.
You guys should do a re-release, like a Bandersnatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but and that was the moment where we were really, we really leaned on
that was hard, man.
Editor who we mentioned before, Kat Weber. Kat is just so incredible. She's a director as well, directing a lot of music videos. She and Feel It TV, like they're just crushing. She's crushing the game. She is a superstar badass and such a great, sort of person to sort of take the footage, and then the two of you just sort of went off and made something. And there was definitely some rearranging and some changes and things that happened and sort of, in the rescripting and in the edit. Anyway, Jeff, would you want to take the sort of emotional scene question real quick?
Yeah, I'll try to be quick. Like, basically, I just want to echo like a couple of things that have already been said in this whole hour, which is like, working with Natty was so great, and working on this film was so great because like I'm just so used to working in television where like there's no time, there's no rehearsal, you're meeting people on the day, there's no chemistry, everything is made up, everything is forced, everything is, and it's fine, that's the gig. But to have a sort of luxury of time for rehearsal, the film feels very theatrical already, but it felt like we were rehearsing a play, and like in theater you spend like a month and more rehearsing it, working over each beat. What does it mean? What are we trying to accomplish in this scene? What is every word trying to drive home? Like, and we don't have that in-depth conversations on TV sets, I find, in my personal experience. So that was just such a luxury and a treat to have the time with the material. And for that scene at the end between Claire and Drew, which for me was, definitely one of the most emotional scenes to work with, having time and having a director who was like, like longer, like wait more. It was like hard to fight against, because I was fighting against what I had, the sort of system that I'd been working in for so many years. Yeah. And it was great because like Natty said, like you can't cut in real life. In real life, somebody throws you a curveball or something that you weren't expecting, like you need a minute to just figure out, what the hell you're going to say. And I think what's so great about that scene, and what was so, satisfying as an actor to play that scene with Claire, is that, he's by himself. He's clearly, rehearsed this in his mind. He's clearly like planned out to the best of his ability how this conversation is going to go. And then halfway through, she says, actually, a little while back, I was seeing someone. And he's like, whoa, like I was not ready. Oh no, this wasn't a part of my plan. Like, this is not going the way I thought it was going to go. And so it takes time. You have to think about what you're going to say. Drew wasn't ready for that. So just having moments in that scene where there could be just big lapses of silence, which, as an audience member, watching it too helps as well, because you're watching these people process what's happening. So I think, as an actor, it was super satisfying because we could really live in those pauses and those silences and really like think about, all the things you're going to say and why. And then as an audience, it was great because it just felt real. It just felt really grounded and real. If you're really in that situation, those conversations aren't flying. It's not snappy. It's like, fuck, I might even take a couple minutes. I might leave the room and like get a drink in the fridge and come back. I don't know how to answer that. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah. And then obviously the ending, you know, with Emma and, you know, the words, I loved you. And like every time we did it, it meant something different and it felt different coming out of my mouth. At times it felt like almost like in his head before it was like a but. I was saying like in my head, but out of my mouth, I was saying, I loved you, almost like a plea for like, come on, like but I love you. And other times it was just sort of like, I just want you to know,
Yeah.
and there was all these different ways that those three words could be played. And so that's why I love hearing, audience being, saying like, when they're so like firm in how it ended and what happens, I'm like, oh, cool. You think that? Like, oh yeah, for sure. Like they broke up and then he went with her and they're all like, super confident about it. I'm like, oh, cool. That's
Totally.
interesting. You think that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, possible outcomes and a lot of people. I think, something that you did such a great job of, Natty, was leaving room for the audience to project, their own thoughts and experiences onto the film, Yeah.
You guys did great.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
So we have some additional winners to announce for our giveaways. So the 4 winners of our personal video shout out are, I'm gonna have to, so I think that like you get a video shout out, a Zoom chat with Natty, or a signed poster, or a selection of these. And again, this is something for some aspiring filmmakers or some people like that. So you get to sort of pick from this allotment here. The winners are Wendy F, Miriam P, Ali M, and Caitlin S. Congratulations, guys. And then we have 4 more winners of signed posters. And those winners are Jackie A, Haven M, Jordan H, and Madison P.
Woo! And I have to say, we got a sexy poster. Come on, can we say it?
Yeah.
Our poster is dope.
And so
it's beautiful.
The one that's being signed is the collector's edition poster, which is the one of the shot on the bench. Yeah,
It's a
so
really
that's the
pretty
one
picture.
we have. I believe it's 12 by 18 is the posters that we have. They're sitting in the other room waiting to be signed.
Shot by a Toronto photographer named Nick.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that we, I want to make sure we sort of say before we leave. It's such a joy to have this amazing group of Toronto actors and writer-director, that came together on this. But the filmmakers that worked on this behind the camera were truly remarkable. And you only can make a film at this budget level and these constraints if everybody is operating at the highest level. And our crew was just absolutely incredible. The wardrobe was incredible. The hair and makeup was incredible. The lighting was incredible. Like we were talking about, the cinematography, the grip and electrics, everything, like every aspect of it. And like, this was a small group. This was a small, guerrilla army that, came to put this together. And so I just want to, make sure that we shout out and thank our incredible Toronto film crew, and everybody involved in this production for helping make this film what it was,
Yeah. Shout out to the crew. The crew of this film was amazing. They were all just extraordinary hard workers who believed in what we were doing and worked so hard to accomplish it.
Yeah. We shot that last night as a night shoot. The last night was a night shoot shooting at the house. We finished the film at the house. And then, the sun rose and we packed up all the gear. And then like everyone just sort of went into the backyard and like cracked a drink or didn't or whatever. And we just sort of like had this beautiful release of, energy after this thing. It's a marathon, it's you basically, you take a breath, you go underwater and you swim underwater for 15 days straight, and that's it was just a beautiful experience. Well, listen, I think we have to wrap this up, guys. We've already gone over. But I love you guys so much, and I'm so glad that we made this movie together. And what a joy it's been. And I think, sorry guys, what's the website of the film?
Acquaintedfilm.com.
Oh my God. And what can we find there, Natty?
Links to buy it or rent it or rate it or
rate it. All the
do it all. Do it all.
Yeah, do it all. Buy it on multiple platforms if you want. Review it on multiple platforms. This is a special film. I think this is a moment where we're all looking for things. This is a film that starts some conversations. So please share the film, watch the film, acquaintedfilm.com. Follow us on Acquainted Film on Instagram and on Facebook. We will keep you all posted on where the film is going to be. It is only in North America right now, but wherever you are that's not there, we're coming for you. Okay.
Send us a message. If you're somewhere else, send us a message where you're at, and we'll try to get you the movie as quickly as we can.
Let us know. Let the people know, and we'll get you the film.
Love you guys.
Love you
guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Rachel and Ray, for being here too. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure. So nice to see you guys.